YouTube, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? Back at y'all with another video. You already know, motion don't stop. We keep it going. So check this out, man. Today's video is gonna be about how the butterfly doesn't grow its wings overnight. We live in a microwave, Uber Eats society where everything comes at the click of a button. So we tend to assume that success is gonna come at the click of a button as well when we know that's not how it works, you know. It's many phases you have to go through, many steps you have to take before you reach that big point to where you can look back and be like, I made it. But it's many people who won't even take those first steps to even get to that point. And even if they do take the first steps to get to that point, they stop during the process when things are coming to fruition. So that's where this video is coming to mind from. Just, that overall mindset of knowing that it is a process and we do have to wait for certain things to happen while also continuing to work. So yeah, without further ado, man, let's hop into it. Yeah, man, you see the vibes. The life cycle of a butterfly. Hey, I'm taking y'all back to school. It may look funny, seem funny, but this is a serious message, so pay attention. So let's hop right into this. So yeah, as we know, with the stage of becoming a butterfly, the first stage is the egg stage. And this is the life cycle starts when a butterfly lays her eggs on a leaf or the stem of a plant. So, yeah, nature, the butterfly begins as a tiny egg. It's almost invisible, but it's still filled with so much potential. And this can just relate to business. As we know, greatness begins small. Even when nobody sees your vision, the seed of transformation is already planted. So the day you plant that initial seed, it's already the possibility, it's already in the process of becoming into that butterfly. But if that seed is never planted, then it's a guarantee that you can never become that butterfly. So this is just a reminder to not rush your beginnings, and also knowing that the most powerful things often start invisible. Everything in this world came from a thought in someone's mind. This microphone I'm using, this computer I'm using, cell phones, it was all a thought that originated from someone's mind that they brought onto the screen of reality. And how did that happen? That happened because they weren't afraid to plant that initial seed. And this is normally the process and the stage where you're receiving the most backlash and you're being called crazy. Even me just embarking on different creative projects that I have, I've been called verbatim like, that's crazy. You really think you can do that? Or just laughter, like, who is going to be strong enough being in that phase when people you thought were your friends or thought were close to you, they are laughing at you, or they are telling you like, get out of la la land, come back to reality. Like, that can hurt your spirit, that can hurt your soul, but are you going to still have the work ethic and the mindset to push through that? That's what the egg phase is about, the beginning phase. Nobody can see the egg except you. Nobody knows what you envision the egg being except you. So if people can't see your vision, then why are we even caring about the doubt? Why are we caring about the non-belief? They don't even know you planted the egg, so you can't expect them to believe. You have to stay patient for that. So that's where this next stage comes in, where you go from the egg to a caterpillar. So a tiny caterpillar eats his way out of the egg. Caterpillars eat lots of leaves and grow very quickly. As the caterpillar eats more and more, it gets bigger and bigger. And yeah, they don't really speak too much on this phase, but let's talk some more about it. So this stage typically lasts 2 to 5 weeks, the caterpillar stage. So yeah, the caterpillar is spending days eating and growing, preparing for what's ahead. So this is like that grind season. Yeah, you have the egg, you planted that seed, but you still got to put in that work to get to the next level. So that's why people might see a little bit of motion like, oh, you designed that logo, or you made the website, or maybe you got that first client, but you still in that caterpillar phase. You're not spreading your wings yet, but you're still there. So this is your grind season. It may not look so glamorous, it may not look so flashy, but every effort that you take is fueling the future. So you just got to stay hungry. What looks like repetition today is just the building capacity for tomorrow. So just like a butterfly in that caterpillar phase, them 2 to 5 weeks is just eating more and more, getting bigger and bigger, preparing for that next phase. That's when the next phase comes in, from caterpillar to chrysalis. When the caterpillar gets fully grown, it then changes itself to a chrysalis. So look at all these stages that it's going through. It wasn't just seed, butterfly wings. No, we just went from seed to the larva stage, and now we're in the chrysalis stage. So what happens during this stage? This is the stage that happens after it is a caterpillar, but before it becomes a butterfly. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. Now, with this phase also lasts another 1 to 2 weeks. So the caterpillar enters into the cocoon, and just look at the outside. If I'm just in nature and I see this, imagine, let's just say we go to the jungle. We see this hanging out of a tree. If we're just looking at this, it looks like nothing is happening. It almost looks weird. You might be doing your idea. You done had your caterpillar phase, done crawled a little bit. You're in there. Can't nobody see you, but you're still a butterfly. And people are just seeing what you're doing. They might look at it as weird, or they might look at it as you have nothing going on the whole time. You getting ready to be a butterfly. So, and just look at it. I feel like nature speaks to us. If I'm looking at this image, it looks like no sound can be heard except the sound that's going on inside. And that speaks volumes because in any industry, when you're innovating or creating, you have to stay in tune with that inside voice because that's what created the initial egg in the first place. So that's why you trust the process. The quiet seasons, when the world thinks you're inactive, those are often the seasons where the biggest breakthrough is on the way. They think you quiet, they think you're not doing nothing the whole time. You were literally just loading up. It's just like when you charge your phone. Your phone about to die. Ooh, boom, you go charge it. People think you ain't calling them back or this and that going on the whole time. You just loading up so you can have that full battery and give it 100% go at your goals. So you just have to remember that isolation isn't wasted. It's just your incubation stage. All the work in the dark, that's what equips you to shine in the light. So we just have to stay focused when it comes to things like that and not get too involved in the outside opinions. Now, the butterfly stage. You done got your wings, man. You stayed down. When the butterfly is ready, the chrysalis splits open and the butterfly crawls out. So let's just pause on a moment on that. Even when the chrysalis splits open, the butterfly still has to crawl out. So even when you do get your wings, when you do get to that stage, you see it's still more work to be done. It's not, oh my gosh, I planted the egg. I done went through these phases and now I got my wings. I can just fly. No, we still have to grind. We still have to work even once those butterfly wings are there. It's still more work to do. Look at the butterfly in this picture. It's still struggling just to get out of that chrysalis. The butterfly cannot fly straight because its wings are soft, wet, and wrinkled. So look at that. Yeah, you're out of that. You have your wings, but look, you can't even fly straight yet because your wings are soft. Your wings are soft. They're wet and they're wrinkled. You can't even fly straight yet. So there's still more work to do. Nature speaks to us in so many different ways. We have to pay attention to this type of stuff. Just because you gained your wings, you gained that next level, that doesn't mean we can just go take flight straight away. We still have some more learning to do. So the butterfly needs to wait until its wings are dry before it can even fly. But the good part about this is we've already had that experience being a caterpillar. We've already had that experience being in the cocoon, going to the chrysalis, like taking these steps. So it's like, even if we do have to wait before we can fly, this is cake now. It's not even hard because we've already been through the hard times. At this point, we just have gratitude for having wings. So we just wait on our time before we can fly. Once the butterfly emerges, it's very fragile, but it soon starts soaring with strength and grace. So this just lets you know that your time will come. The struggle wasn't wasted. It built the wings that you now carry. Without that egg phase, there would be no wing phase. So how could we have a goal or something we want to do and we're too scared to even start the egg phase? That doesn't make any sense. So you're not just transformed, but you're also designed to inspire. Your wings aren't just for flying, they're for showing others what's possible. Is we really here to show others what's possible in this thing too. You might have your wings and you might meet somebody that's in the egg phase. And you don't even see that person for them. You see them for the egg that you once were. So that's where that gratitude comes in. And yeah, man, that's when the life cycle begins again. The butterfly will spend its time feeding from the nectar of other flowers. It also drinks water and liquid from fruit. So now you have your wings. They done dried off. You done dust yourself off. And now you just fly. I mean, look at the design on this butterfly. That's beautiful. That's beautiful that nature can create that, starting from a simple egg. So just think about that. Hold on, man. We got to go back. I'm sorry. We got to go back. This little egg, this little thing that seemed so small that nobody could see the vision, nobody could see any potential. It just looked like a little egg. It's nothing. That's what people look at because they're not looking at your vision. They're looking at what they can see now. This little thing turned into this beautiful thing. Think of your favorite entrepreneur, your favorite artist, your favorite mogul. Let's see how they started. Let's see what their first album was talking about. Let's see what their first movie was talking about. Let's see what their first social media post was talking about. Because before you get your wings, you can't even hear the noise. You are the noise. You create the noise. Remember who started the egg. Remember who created the egg. Without you, there would be no egg. So that's where you just keep your inner voice and your intuition intact. And yeah, man, that's when you get to this stage. You get your wings, you get that fly design, you fly around. And another cool thing I realized is as a caterpillar, we could only crawl so far. You might be a caterpillar, crawl on the leaf, go to another plant, be a caterpillar, crawl somewhere on the ground, go somewhere that's right across the ground. But it's like once you get your wings, you can literally fly anywhere in the jungle. So that's the mindset that needs to be in place when we are in that caterpillar phase. Yeah, I may only have the funds to go here right now. I may only have the connections to meet with them right now, but I'm preparing to have my wings where I can go anywhere, anytime, meet with anybody and be in any place. That's the grand vision. That's the end goal to get these wings. Nature speaks to us in many ways, man. It's right here in our face. So yeah, I feel like it would be great to just do a review on this give my insight on it, put my perception out there, and just put out some motivation for y'all, man. You know, it's early in the morning, second video of the day. Still have more work to do, but hey, this is the most important thing to me, getting messages out like this out there. So, yeah, man, let's stay focused. Whether we're in our egg phase, whether we're in our caterpillar phase, we're butterfly. Let's still stay focused. No matter what phase you in, this can relate to you, you know? So just keep going, man. It was good talking to y'all, good checking in with y'all. More content, more motivation on the way. Y'all have a great day.